Okay, hello today, everyone. It is Saturday, um, March the 25th. We're almost finished this month of March. Goodness gracious, this has been a quick one.
Almost a third of the year has gone by.
Yes,
I
yes,
know a
yes.
quarter.
That
I'm
first
sorry,
quarter.
a
God is
quarter.
good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so I'm looking forward to today's discussion. We're just gonna have an open discussion. So from prayer to politics, anything we want to talk about today is on the table. So well, so we know we gotta pray in the day.
Yes.
No, we gotta pray in the day. Matter of fact, we probably need to put our full armor on.
So put your arm on.
We're gonna need to put our full armor on today. So would
Oh,
anyone like to lead us in prayer? All these quiet prayer warriors, y'all know what they say about the
I
silent
mean,
assassin.
I'll take it.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Heavenly Father, once again, we come to you in truth and honesty with the words that you have given us to come off our tongues to enlighten and to help, not to hurt or harm. We come to speak truth on not only how we feel, but how so many people feel, and how to understand, how we can make people understand how other people feel. With these words we say, we just ask you to guide us down this path of truth and righteousness. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessing. Thank you.
Peace
So
and
it is.
blessings.
peace and blessing.
Okay, anyone has a topic that they would like to explore?
How about anybody, does anybody want to discuss any topics that we have had in the past? Any of the lessons that we've been learning or anything?
Okay, well, I think that that's pretty good because this is one of the things that I have been noticing that I am doing now. I'm really staying focused on my thoughts. What am I thinking, especially if I'm thinking something negative about myself. And you know, and if I have any negative thoughts at all. So I'm really paying attention to the way I think. And then I always at the same time, I am reminding myself of who I am. I am, you know, filled with the power of our source. And you know, with every attribute the source has, I also have.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that I know that I am personally pursuing. Plus I'm you know, creating, you know, healthier habits for myself, getting out of old habits and and getting into some new ones. And sometimes that's, you know, creating new habits can sometimes be a little difficult.
Yes, it can.
Okay.
How about anybody else?
Speaking of changing habits, one of the things that I have been working on over the years, and I noticed I said years, is to try and eliminate things from my diet that are not good for me. It's been a long time since I've been to a fast food place.
Congratulations.
I try to prepare things, make things from scratch at home rather than buy those things that are already prepared from the store. That doesn't mean I don't get things that are already prepared. I still do. I still use, because there are some things that are easier to purchase than it is to buy it and then create it yourself. But basically what I'm trying to do is to know exactly what it is I'm putting in my body.
Okay.
And when I go in the store, if I can't read the label, in other words, it's got big words in there that I don't understand, I don't know what it is, I put it right back on the shelf.
Okay.
Well, how about you, Andre?
Well, I've more or less from what we've been studying, I've found a new connection again with meditation and as well as meditation through crystals and the rocks in the earth. It's been a new it's not something that I kind of did not know certain things about, but it's been an interest that has been sparked in the past couple of weeks as well as months, with us dealing with certain avenues that we go down, whether it be tarot or it is Kabbalah, or if we're speaking of the Book of Enoch and things like that. It's kind of been taking me to an interest again in the genetics of the earth, which is pretty funny to me, because now when I leave you guys later on today, I have a science project with one of the boys, and that's what they're working on. So we're, trying to figure out how it's incorporating. So I'm kind of seeing a circle of something around me that wants that nature of solid, of rock, of something that holds information, something that can be chiseled, but yet and still it's hard to break. It can be put in fire, and yet and still it makes it stronger and harder to last longer. So I'm kind of trying to figure out where those connections of the things that we have been studying, and then my interest now in the stones and in the way I'm looking at the earth and what it produces, as far as it being just a living being by itself. So I'm kind of once again I'm looking bigger, but this time I'm kind of looking on the plane that we are, I guess. So I'm interested to figure out where this is going to take me, and how I can connect everything together to see a bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's really interesting. When you just think about just things in the Bible alone about how heaven, when we, the one full description we have of heaven is all about crystals. It's all about crystals and golds and pearls and beryls and emeralds. So it's all, when you really had that description of heaven, it's all from the perspective of gemstones. So so when we find out what those gemstones correlate to, like in our, for our colors, along with our say our chakras, and how that goes to show how they heal, how important they are in our spiritual perspectives, in our spiritual pursuits. So yeah, it's really interesting. And Jesus said himself that if nobody would have shouted for him that morning when he was coming into Jerusalem, the rocks and stones themselves would start to sing. So it's amazing what this planet holds for us.
Ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking about rocks and stones and other things. We're talking about, we talk about, we discuss the tarot, we discuss Kabbalah, we discuss astrology. And my question is, why do most, well, no, I'm not going to say most, why do Christians believe that these things are taboo? Because, I mean, when you read the Bible and really look at what is being said, sometimes it's very subtle, but it's sanctioning a lot of the things that we do, the things that we talk about. Is it because they don't, the majority of Christians don't understand? And when I say a majority, I'm going to say the leadership, because they are the ones that are leading us. They don't understand the message that is being given to us. And because they don't understand, they just would rather not, they don't discuss it because they don't want to admit that they don't know and don't understand.
For me, I think it's because it's lack of information. I mean, if you don't know it, you don't understand it because maybe you don't know it. And then I think a lot of times the Christians, they go to these churches, and I think that's why a lot of people go into this non-denominational churches, because a lot of these churches that they think like, you're going to go to hell, you're going to go to hell, you're going to go to hell, all this kind of stuff. So I think people kind of get brainwashed too with Christians.
And to me, it's no shame in saying, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because none of us is, I mean, we have all of this information, but we don't have it at our fingertips, at our disposal. So it's no shame in saying, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find that information, I will and get back to you. And if I can't, I'll let you know.
Right.
Well, in my discussions with people from the past, it really all boils down to, I think people don't understand what worship is. They think that if you are using a rock, or if you're using the tarot, if you're using, then you are in some way worshiping either that item, or they see that item as satanic, because it's always either God or the devil. And if it ain't God, it's got to be the devil. So then you are worshiping Satan, or worshiping something satanic, as opposed to there's a different, I think that most people don't understand simply the whole term of worship. Worship simply means awe. Can you look that word up, Harriet?
Yeah, I can. Hold on just a second. Worship, the word worship.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Hold on.
I said, I've learned a lesson about worship. Can I share it with you?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens, I saw this on YouTube, they say, if you lose things, it's because something better is coming for you. So here, I had to listen to get that message, because what happened with me, I lost my key to my BMW, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the avenue to get replacement keys cost $500. So the reality is, I was worshiping the BMW, so I had to lose that key.
Oh.
I'm being honest. So now I
Mhm.
realized something. I got to get a new car, because I can't keep putting the money into that car. But I had to lose that because I was kind of worshiping the key to the BMW. I'm being honest. And so now I had to lose that key, the most thing that I really have an asset for. But things happen. Things happen for a reason.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you say worship, how are you worshiping the BMW?
Well, I wasn't worshiping, but I was, I guess, washing the car a lot. Just any car I have, I just take care of it. So I can't really say worshiping, but the reality is I was putting a lot of energy into that car.
So you see worship as putting a lot of energy in.
Okay.
Okay. So what is worship? Harriet?
Okay, according to the Oxford Language Dictionary, it is the noun, the feeling of or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity, the worship of God. And the verb means to show reverence and adoration for a deity, honor and religious rites, with honor with religious rites. Let me read that one again. The verb means to show reverence and adoration for a deity. Second part of that, to honor with religious rites.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, how I interpret that is, let's use Forrest's scenario. He feels like he was worshiping his car by taking care of it. But that car was given to him through the power of God.
Okay.
And it was the gift from God.
Mhm.
And when God gives us something, he means for us to take care of it. We are to be good stewards, whether it's a car, whether it's money, whether it's a house.
Right.
And when we are taking care of it, like you were talking about washing it, ask God to give you the power and the strength to take care of this gift that he has given you.
Okay.
And when you ask him for the strength and the power and whatever else is needed to take care of whatever he has given you, and let's just say your car,
Mhm.
then you're not worshiping the car. You're showing appreciation to God for
Okay.
what he has given to you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I guess that, when you look at things, because you can turn anything into your God. Anything can become
Exactly.
God for you.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
go ahead, Andre. Go ahead.
I'm sorry that, I'm listening and I caught it. And from where we started, I kind of want to go from where we started. And that was the question that Miss Harriet asked. Yes, to answer your question, yes, there are leaders who are not naive and know these practices that we are now doing. And it's been spoken many, many, many times before, throughout history. Yes, there's a reason why you can't just there's a reason why you can't go to the Vatican and just walk through and pick up any library book that you should be able to pick up, because it's natural history. There's a reason why, these things are hidden, because without the control of this, people can create.
Mm-hmm.
Did I go mute? Can you
No.
hear me?
No,
Yeah,
no,
Yes.
we hear
you
you.
said people can create. Yeah.
Without a control, people are more or less free to create, and are far more allowed to believe in themselves, which making creation is easier. I mean, that's that force of down, but that is because that is a situation of man's fault when it comes to how man how man or humankind looks at how people choose to create. We judge how other people create or believe or have witnessed or have seen. And if it doesn't match up with ours, then there is a conflict. Majority of us don't deal with that. So we're dealing with a point of view of, yes, can a preacher and a pastor go out there and tell, you know, can go out there and speak of the book of Jubilees. Yes, he has those books. He's been given those books, you know. You're given everything because you're still under that control of, yet and still, if you want to think about it, it's still that Roman control of Catholicism. Whether you want to say, well, it's Baptist or Catholic or Presbyterian, it still all falls under that. You're still going to go. There's still a pope. And no matter every piece of money you give and you collect, yes, may go to heading your church, but it goes to this same point of view, upholding this system. And this is the way that it's taught, that this is the only system. So yes, fear will be pumped because if this is the only way, no matter if it's right or wrong, and that's the conundrum. Even if it's right, when people decide to say no, we force it down them. And they say, hey, we just want to live the way that we want to live. We're not bothering anyone. So, but it's wrong. So it's that catch-22 when it comes to people. And so to answer that question, of course, they're not going to give us these tools. And of course, they're going to make us feel bad because we lose the key to our car and it costs $500. You know, of course, you know, depending on what we have and how we look upon them and how we look upon what we have, is it worth it or not? And those are the questions you have to ask yourself. But just to go back to what Miss Harriet was saying, that's where I'm at compared to where we were all speaking. So as far as worship, I don't understand that. I don't see that I can worship something that is tangible to me, because eventually it gets old and it's always something bright and shiny. It's always going to be something new and bright and shiny. So once that thing that I had that was bright and shiny doesn't work anymore, or doesn't work the way that I want it to work, I'm going to see something else that's bright and shiny and say, I want that too. So it's a discipline I think you have to have in yourself, I guess. I'm just paraphrasing of everything we were speaking of our conversation. But I do think that, yeah, there are controls, and that is the way that we think, where you can find yourself feeling bad because you lost the key to your car. One of the smallest things in the world, you know, how many times you've lost keys to your house and things like that. But one of the smallest things in the world is to lose a key, but yet and still it can upset your whole day, your whole week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, it can make you feel bad and make you feel that you are worshiping something. But would you shoot your horse for losing a horseshoe?
You're so funny. You're so funny. That was a joke right there. That was good.
I mean,
so
yeah, you got to pay. We have to pay for the things that we are given, whether it be a car or children,
right?
A fish tank. I'm mad. My fish tank is black. I got to clean my fish tank, y'all. You know, I don't even know what happened. There ain't even no fish in there. It just turned black on me.
Gosh.
You know, I gotta, you know, but I mean, it's something that I like. I have to take care of it. You know,
right?
There's no reason. I can ask the question, why did it happen? Really doesn't matter why it happened.
But I think you were right, Andre, when you said because we can create. And I think that, first of all, I think that a lot of people weren't taught to use crystals or tarot or meditation even, simply because they thought that if they used that, they would no longer be worshiping God. They would be making God angry. and they would be worshiping Satan.
Mhm.
Simply because we just don't understand
Right.
the concept of worship. You know, we've been told something, and now we think that, you know, worship is singing, you know, or we think that worship is something else. But, you know, worship is, it is that direct connection to a deity. And if I have been told that if I use these crystals that are, you know, clearly described it's clearly described in the Bible as holy and useful and beneficial, that I should be able to use them in my everyday life. But because people have been, and this is just my opinion, people have been praying to something on the outside. So if I'm using a crystal in my hand, now you're thinking I'm using the power from something from the outside as opposed to using the power from within. And if I'm using the power from within, then and I'm the only one who can do it, that's gonna be, you know, that's gonna, you know, get somebody else all confused that how come I can use this power and they can't use this power. So if I'm using it from these crystals, then this must mean that they in league with Satan. And you know, we all know that people have been killed and have been run out of town and have been ostracized because they happen to be able to really tell a dream. They have some sense of prophecy, you know. So
And especially in our community,
especially in our community, yeah.
in our community, we know that, I mean, we speak of numbers, we speak of dreams, we speak of
All the
so many
time.
different things, and yet and still we call them holy, but that's not in our Bible, not in any shape, form, or fashion. But it's a point of worship. It's a point of understanding and understanding and worshiping the being of yourself,
Mhm.
or the family, or the knowledge that's being given. And if you look at it from that, I mean, to say it like that, if you're worshiping the knowledge, then you're worshiping the word.
Right. Well, you worshiping.
So you know, so therefore you that's your confusion. That there's your confusion, because we're not looking at it from the point of view. A lot of things are mixed up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I think it is just like, just like you and both you and Forrest are saying, is that, you know, there is a lot of confusion.
Mhm.
There's a lot of confusion around what, you know, what the words is. I mean, you know, just like, you know, I had always been told that all the cares of who you talking to now, that Moses wrote the 5 books of the Bible, that, you know, the Bible was dictated by God, was inspired by God, but written down by man. But yet every word in the Bible is true, you know. So you know, so if you can end up worshiping that Bible, so that, you know, whatever page 63 says, that is accurate and for sure. So, you know, we might not can stone you anymore with rocks, but I can stone you with my with you know, with words that I say against you.
Mhm.
I can harm you by, you know, saying, you know, using the same scriptures that are in the Bible that you know, that I'm claiming is inspired by God, but written by man. Now all of it's 100% holy, and it means, you know, no holds barred. So that means that I can go in and do whatever I feel that I should be able to do to you, because I read it in the Bible.
And
You know,
look at speaking of what's written in the Bible, Look at how many wars and battles they talk about, especially in the Old Testament.
Man,
And what is one of the 10 commandments? Thou shalt not kill. So
Mhm.
what my thing is, yes, the Bible was written by.
translation. Once again, translation as well.
Mhm.
Translation as well. Now, a life is, no matter wherever you go in history, you are not supposed to intentionally take a life.
That's right.
No matter even if you go to old school where they say cannibals were, you are not intentionally allowed to just take a life. It don't work like that. You're not allowed to spill blood upon the soil that was not supposed to be spilled, especially when it comes like that in any society back, especially from back then to pretty much now. I mean, we follow those
Murder.
same rules and regulations now.
Mhm.
Now
Murder.
there is a difference between thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not murder. Murder is a difference from kill. I'm not saying that either one is good or bad. I'm not saying one is better than the other. But if you are a soldier, and whether past tense or present tense or even future, you're gonna have to do some killing.
And it makes it a whole lot easier if you're reading a Bible and you know, I'm not, you know, we're just talking about when people have turned the Bible into God.
Exactly.
People have made
Exactly.
the
When
Bible
turning
into
people
their
into
God.
exactly.
That if your
Mhm.
God tells you it's okay for you to kill these people, yeah, go out
But it's
and
not
fight
okay
them,
for you to
fight them
kill those
all, kill
people.
them all. But yet three chapters later, 3 books later, you know, we're all love, light, and forgiveness. You know, or you happen to be somebody that I chose. So if I chose you, then that means that somebody who is not chosen, if they don't want to get on board to be one of the chosen, then they can be smited out.
They can be smited
Mhm.
out by
Um,
that. I mean, most people speak of, like you were speaking, Penna, as far as you know, the Spanish Inquisition. Things that were going on back then. They had normal people just robbing and murdering people because they had the lawful right to, because they decided to say that we're under the law of this king, queen, or the Pope allows us to do this from our point of view. So no matter however you look at the words that are interpreted, you can interpret the words of the Bible no matter however you choose to read it, and you can catch it from either point of view. But the thing about it is, if you catch it from one point of view, you catch it from a point of view of righteousness and understanding. If you catch it from that point of view of power and greed, you'll catch it from that point of view too. And we know those people who are doing that.
Mhm.
mhm.
And it's not like the Bible did not say, it's not like the Bible did not speak of these people that will catch it from that point of view. So it's no different from us reading the cards or seeing or interpreting our crystals or looking at the stars for our horoscopes, interpreting, anything. It's saying the same thing. It's a tool that can be used for you to enlighten yourself.
Mhm. And when you don't make it, and when you're not making the object the God, and I think that most people still, because they still see God as on the outside, God is up there in heaven somewhere. God is, so we're still not seeing God from a spiritual point, which is where is that thing that keeps us all alive.
We're
That's the thing
separate
that
from
makes
God.
every human alive. Say that
Exactly.
again.
I said, we're separate from God is how we
Is
are
how they
taught.
see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So if you see yourself separate from God, then you're going to believe that separation is a true thing, is a real thing. So yeah, and I, so this kind of, this is a little rabbit hole that I went down the other day. and okay, yeah, well, I'm not smoking weed anymore, but I'm doing edibles. So my edibles are really helping me explore and expand. So the thing that I was on the other day was AI, because I don't know, either I had watched the movie or I had, oh no, I was listening to the frequency sounds, and they had a image of a human sitting in lotus position, and they had all of the chakras, and they had all of this light that was coming from them. And I was saying, oh wow, so that can be like artificial intelligence. And then when you think about it, are we humans? Are we the artificial intelligence? Because
It could be.
we are made in an image, but we're not the image. We are made to create and bring about creations. And this is what we're seeing, the AI that we have, that we're doing, that AI is, creating that. So do you all think that we are artificial intelligence?
This one girl says, I said, well, she's very spiritual. She says, you're not human. I said, what? And this young girl, she's probably a teenager now, but she says, we went there to meet the mother, and we were talking some to the daughter, and she's very spiritual. She knows a lot of different stuff. And she said, I'm gonna tell you something. I said, what? She said, you might not want to know this. I said, what is it? She said, you're not human.
So
there you go.
so did you ask her what you were?
Mm-hmm.
You get that? I said, she said, I'm not human.
And what did she say you were?
I said, okay, thank you.
You said thank you.
Uh-huh.
I want one of them anyway.
Again, great rabbit hole. I would have to say for it to be artificial intelligence.
Yes.
No, because what we are made of is the universe itself.
Mm-hmm.
So we have past, present, future in us already, in our DNA. I think what we create will always be that artificial, but on this plane, yes. In these bodies, yes, that is something that is a material thing. Energy is energy. So energy is always, it doesn't deplete its intelligence. So artificial in this physical form, the way we move, yes, but not consciously, no.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because consciousness in itself is an indicator of life. Correct?
Yeah.
Because life is there. Life is there anywhere, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But
Life
once
is
you're
their enemy.
conscious of life.
Once you're conscious of life, that's a completely different
Mhm.
point of view. Once you're conscious,
Mhm.
once you're conscious, and you can, that's different. But I mean, but once again, I mean, we're speaking of we're speaking of the universe. The whole universe exactly comes from something that was smaller than an atom,
Right.
according to how we look at it scientifically. And it just held that energy. Boom. Well, what was behind what was behind that playing tennis to say, let there be light, bow. Uh-huh. Yeah. And then light came. What happened before that? What's outside of this? Once again, it's bigger. So it it all has a consciousness.
Mhm.
It's no different from the way that we have to look at our bodies and the way that we are living in a universe. It has a body. We are living on this planet.
Right. Yeah.
It is a body. We are ants, we are cells, or whatever you want to call us. Yeah, do we have a good, what I'm saying? Is somebody
Yeah.
looking out for us right there? I mean, are we the heart? Yeah, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Are we the liver?
And
Lord
then,
knows we are.
then we have so many, different bodies. We have our mental body, our astral body, our emotional body, our physical body, our spiritual body. So, we have, I guess different realms, because I don't want to say levels, because levels is not the right word. But we do have different areas of bodies, and that's one of the things we had just talked about the other night. And I don't know, it was in the book club where we talked about the mental body. And I hadn't thought about what types of how I have created my mental body, that, what emotions that I have held on to. If I was sad when I was 6 because I dropped my ice cream, and I kept that feeling, in my body for a long time. And then that is, that has created um, a stigma or something in my body. It's amazing what, when we really start to pay attention to our different bodies, that, like our astral body, what is connected, I mean, how are we cleansing these bodies? Say our astral body, energies that are coming in to us from all different people in all different places, and we're just, either absorbing them or, affected by them, but we're not consciously cleansing or healing or supporting or nurturing or feeding these different bodies, and we're just allowing things to happen. And then we're all confused about, why did this just happen to me? It just happened to me because I don't know how to, fend off, your your evil eye, or your being too joyous. So I think that all of those are things that we have to also be conscious of.
I agree. I definitely agree that those three need to be balanced, which is I think is a cool number that we need to study as well.
Mm-hmm.
The number three is a number that I think we need to study. Very,
Mm-hmm.
if anybody's up to it or anybody knows anything about the number three.
I'm gonna write that down.
1 + 2 = 3. So we start
And so
off
does
as,
2 plus 1.
I was thinking in sequence because we start off as one.
Mm-hmm.
We marry or we join with someone else in some form or another. It could be a business partnership, it could be a love relationship, it could be friendship, but we join with another. And from that joining, we create something, a third party. It could be, a marriage where two become one according to the Bible. Those two can create a third being. So I think three, without looking it up, I think three is kind of a culmination of
Mm-hmm.
two joining to create a third.
Mm-hmm. It's a base number, the foundational number. Mm-hmm. And I should know what threes mean since we got threes and tarots.
Well, I was into numerology quite a few years ago, and at the time, the only thing I remember now as far as numerology is concerned is what number each letter of the alphabet is. You ask me what a letter is, and I can tell you what number it is. For example, the letter R is a 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because it's one of the letters that occurs in my name.
Mm-hmm. I'll look this up real quick. Why is he on?
No, I'm not a number I'm really not a number person.
Numerologist.
No, not at all. 2 plus 2 is jello to me. So,
Oh,
I'm not a number person. I can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. I do not put a X times 3 on top of an A. I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy. So I don't really pay attention to see numbers in that point of view. It's more of a visual thing. Closest with numbers with me is my favorite shape is the shape of a pyramid. That's why I keep them around me.
Well, that's a 3.
yeah, yeah.
That you know.
Yeah, when you look at it face on, you see 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you look at it from an angle, you still see 3. You see 2 triangles. Tri meaning 3.
But yeah, as far as numbers, don't ask me.
Oh,
Don't ask me why I can see it and I like it, but I can tell you why I see it and I like it, but don't ask me the numbers.
and that's okay.
I mean, unless you speak in history part of it, like I can tell you the Great Pyramid, this, but as far as like construction, bunch of brothers got together and stacked a bunch of bricks and had a party.
Yeah, because the 3s, though, that's the number of completion because you have that whole, those, your 3 major levels of consciousness. You got your super consciousness, your consciousness, and then you have your super consciousness, your consciousness, and your unconsciousness or your subconscious. So those are those 3 states of consciousness. So you have, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Trinity.
Mm-hmm. In that concept. Yeah, but three is a
Master
Three-
number.
it is a master number, yeah. Yeah, yeah, three would be that would be that would be an interesting number to to think about. Mm-hmm.
Well, while we're on that subject, and does anybody else, Miss Joe, do you want to say anything about any numbers that come to mind to you?
Or anything that comes to mind.
Yeah, or anything.
No, I'm just enjoying listening to y'all. I like when y'all was talking about worship. Worship to me, my way of worshiping the Lord is, I'm constantly telling him thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. When my feet hit the floors, thank you for a new day. That's how I look at the word worship.
Mm-hmm.
When I pay bills, I'm thanking him.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I do, and I didn't used to always do this. Sometimes when I want to talk back to someone when they get on my nerves at their job, and I don't, I thank him for keeping my mouth silent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I that's as far as numbers. I like the number 9. I don't know what that means. I'm not into numbers. I can count money, but I was never crazy about doing math.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I
But
said
I'm
I
still
don't
here
believe
with
in
y'all. I'm not, I'm just being quiet. Sometimes you don't always have to be running your mouth.
You heard that, didn't you, Andre?
I'm trying, but y'all leaving a lot of dead space.
Oh no,
Close
I didn't
the
mean that personal.
microphone.
Oh, we just playing. Y'all know
Okay.
how we play.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah. So so those are some of the things that we can think about. Any other subjects? There's anything? I haven't really, I haven't been watching TikTok or the news here recently, so I don't have any up-to-date news. I do know that they are holding hearings against having TikTok in the United States. Something about that they don't know whether China can spy on the United States through TikTok. I don't know. I don't get that part because we spy on everybody all the time. So now we don't want nobody to spy on us. And everybody spied on each other all the time. They always have been. So I don't know. I don't know the heads or outs of it. So I don't know any contemporary news unless somebody else does.
I try to not listen to it because there's always so much bias and negativity associated with it. I turn on the news to catch the weather, see what the weather's going to be. And I occasionally listen to it to see what's going on. And when I hear all the negativity and stuff, I just, pray and trust that everything will work out for the good of all mankind.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I can identify with you, Harriet. I don't look at the news too much anymore either. It's too depressing. I want to be aware of what's going on in the world, but it just be too depressing.
And that's basically why I watch, to know what's going on, to know what I need to be cognizant of in order to protect me and mine. And when I say
You got to
mine,
keep
that is-
on your armor.
Yeah,
That's
you do
right.
have to keep your armor on. Yeah.
Exactly.
At all times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, things can come and smack you in the face and knock you down if you're not careful.
There you,
Well,
and they
you know,
going to come.
and I was gonna
Things-
say, all of it seems to be, right in alignment with what they say in Revelations.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And all of it seems right, is right in alignment that, Russia and China are buddying up together, and, the United States, and, we're all involved in some religious aspect. There's this,
Mhm.
this is a new religion that's popping up, and
What is it? What is it called?
I think it's the Christian nationalism. Mhm. Christian nationalism. That's
That's what gets me. People call themselves Christians, but they don't live Christ-like.
But
No,
I
they
mean,
They don't live or act
I mean,
Christ-like.
but that's, I just don't get that point of view of calling it anything. The gangs,
You got that right.
the gangs. I don't care if you got a Bible in your hand or what. You a gang. If I gotta live by your rules, regulations, and your rules and regulations make me do certain things that breaks the law of the land, you a gang. I don't care from Oklahoma to Mississippi.
Are
You
you
know,
saying GAMES or
no,
GANGS?
gang. I'm saying gang. I'm talking Bloods, Crips.
GANG.
Oh, okay.
I'm
DANG.
talking
Okay.
Bloods,
Mhm.
Crips, the Ku Klux Klan. You are a gang. You produce no money to help the community. You produce violence. You are not doing you are bringing the property value down. You are scaring people to come into the neighborhoods, whether white or black or brown or whatever. That is a gang.
And you know
Whether
what?
you carry a Bible or not.
And you know what? I had never thought of it in that way, but you have just raised my awareness. And that's exactly what they are.
The reason why it's so easy to build a cult together is because if you build a following of people and call it a religion, you don't have to pay taxes. Of course, you have enough money.
You don't have to pay taxes.
You don't have to pay taxes. But we, as a people who are spending majority of our time in these Bibles and looking at these things and understanding and trying to figure out what is going on, this is what's going on. Once again, the same thing that has always been going on. People will use religion against you to conquer you.
Yeah.
No matter what, nothing is old under the sun. So yeah. Am I gonna see this in my lifetime and be peaceful? No, I'm not. Can I teach my children and hopefully my children can teach their children and become better people where people are starting to realize, because there is a lot of people that have realized. Our generation, my generation, is up there now saying, wait a minute, we sick of this. It's a lot more of us screaming that. It's a lot more of us screaming, we tired of this, y'all. No, we don't have no problem with it. No, yeah, we want people out of jail. Yeah, we understand drugs because my mom or my uncle or this. Yeah, we understand these things. We understand what this did to our community. So now you have a bunch of people who now understand it. If we're not taught how to come out here and understand it, but just hold the struggle, and that's wherever you are as far as America, Now, as far as biblically, America won't even there. So I ain't even gonna talk about that. That makes no sense. I ain't even gonna put America in Revelations. Nah,
America is Babylon.
exactly.
We that great whore.
Mhm.
You right,
Yeah.
Vanessa. You're 100% right.
No,
Mhm.
I say a
Babylon.
era.
No. Babylon is Babylon. Babylon did not go nowhere. Just the same as Rome didn't go nowhere. They just changed their name.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So America
Mhm.
is America.
Mhm.
Hey, did y'all
The
see on, I seen,
plantation.
excuse me, did y'all see on the news, I think it's in Utah somewhere, teenagers are gonna have to get permission for social media and all that. Parents are gonna have control. Did y'all see that?
No.
No, teenagers
I
have to do
did.
what?
Get permission to use the social media to get on the computer and whatnot.
No. Well, that's
Too
because,
little,
like I'm telling
too
you,
little,
I
too
mean,
late. Too little,
that's
too
why I
late.
love TikTok. That's why I love TikTok. I love TikTok so much because the young people are making movements. They are moving things. They are making things happen. And the status quo cannot control it. And
Uh-huh.
that's why they want to shut TikTok down. That's why they want to shut the youth down. Because first of all, the youth have energy, they got time, they have they have a way to communicate with one another.
Mhm.
They are sociable. They are making things, they are making changes, they are making stuff happen.
Because they're using
Get on
their,
the wrong side of TikTok if you want to. TikTok, they will sick TikTok on you. People have lost their jobs, they've lost
Well,
their
that's what I'm saying.
careers because
But
they
yeah,
have been nasty to other people. TikTok will find out about them and will take it right straight to their boss.
but I mean that's no different that I've seen. There's a balance on everything, and one thing about it is, yes, does TikTok have its point of view? I guess I don't know. I'm not on social media in any shape, form, or fashion, so I can't really say what I see on TikTok or anything like that, or how I would use the application because I don't have the application and not interested in the application. Uh, does my daughter have the application? Yeah. Does she have also Instagram? Yeah. Do I see more garbage come from that? Yeah. I see more garbage come
That's
from
because
these
that's the
young.
garbage. I mean, it's all
I
different
see.
types of things. So you don't have to be on the garbage channel if you don't want
So
to
it's
be.
not the point, but the point what I'm making is with with people not being able to interact with each other, but over a conversation over the phone. We already know that people are cowards in this world physically. So imagine that now you can say whatever you want to say to whoever you want to say it to, however you want to say it to, and you have a whole bunch of people that agree with you. You have a whole different chessboard than actually going out to someone physical and dealing with it. So yeah, sticks and stones break bones, words will never hurt me. Lie. We know that.
mhm, mhm.
We know that these things that are being said and these things that are coming out, whether the good things that are coming out, there are more good things that I do believe that people are doing so much on, just the same as
Mhm.
any other social media. But we will never hear, and there will never be news about that, because what the best thing about it is the drama, is the shock and awe of somebody going up there and saying, my voice was heard not only by this, but by the gods. I actually got to speak to the world. Everybody heard me. Everybody's looking at what I'm saying. It went viral. That's why it's called going viral.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It
That's what
can
I'm
be,
saying.
it can be, it can be, it cannot be, depending on the eyes of whoever has the microphone.
Yeah, but that's in anything. That's in anything, you know? And this is why, this is, this is what I was thinking, that with the reason that in Utah, they don't want their teenagers to have any type of social media unless their parents sign for it. It's simply because they still want to control these children, because the young people they are shifting things. They are making things happen. They are coming together against gun violence. They're coming against racism. All of these are things that they are coming against, and they are really like making inroads into like the Congress, into like state Senate, into these places. And I
And
really do
so
believe that we don't want them to have that kind of voice.
Yeah, in a place
Well,
that
you know-
in a place that is purple, as we speak in politics, in a place that is not red or blue, but is purple, which is Utah, in a place that is purple, but why are we still having a conversation that Donald Trump is still the leading president? So this has nothing to do with this has nothing to do with that. This has nothing, the gun
the
violence
teenagers?
and all that has nothing to do with that.
With
These
Donald
young
Trump?
people,
Well-
these young people are not, these young people who are, majority of these young people who are you speaking from, yes, you are getting the algorithm because that is what you are looking for as far as a positive point of view. Now, that is where it goes. There is a different point of view. There are angry people out there. There are people who believe this. There are people who believe that. So no, if this information is being passed along, and this is what America is saying, if this information is being passed along, and this information is being passed along to China, which that means you have all the data to millions of people who join TikTok. Once again, I don't have no problem with this because I don't do social media, because that's the first thing that I learned when it comes to social media. Anything you put out on social media no longer belongs to you. So when I do certain things, I'm not really pressed on the issue of it. It's no money involved in it. It's nothing. But anything you put out on social media, Facebook or Instagram or anything, TikTok, however you want to say, that information, that conversation, your location, where you live, your house and all that, your pictures no longer belong to you.
Right? I think everybody know that.
So
Well, yeah,
so therefore that means everybody puts them. So when you go viral, and you hit 100K and you get this money, that means your whole likeness is now owned. So basically you just signed a deal like Ray Charles did in 1945. Yeah, you famous, but now you making a penny for your hard-earned work.
mhm.
They're not making any money. It's a business.
But
Well, you
maybe
know-
but I mean, okay, go ahead, Harriet. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what the powers that be are trying to do is keep us stupid or dumb or whatever word you want to use, unintelligent. Because if what they're doing in Utah is trying to control the youth, make them puppets. You do what I say do, and everything will be all right. They're doing the same thing in Florida as far as they're trying to do the same thing in Florida. And if we don't nip it in the bud, as my dad used to say, if we don't nip this disease in the bud, it's going to take over. We talk about.
I'm gonna be honest. I believe you should be. I believe you should be 17 years old, between 16 and 17 years old,
Mhm.
around the same time you get your license, before you are a child and should have a social media. Period.
Well, I mean, that's what you would do within your own home,
Mhm.
because I mean, we're still, people are still our parents.
Yeah,
If you
I
don't want
mean,
your child to
but
have
that-
social
but that's
media,
my
then
point.
Yeah,
your
but-
child won't
Yeah,
have
but
social media.
16 and 17 is that point, if
You
you
are a
like,
little bit
when you
more, you
begin
are
to
a little bit more
transition from a
responsible
child into where you're making that transition from childhood into adulthood.
into an adulthood. Exactly. Versus you being 9 years old and you have an open page, because guess what, baby doll, I gotta go to work. And believe it or not, our generation is not the same thing. Our generation,
Well,
we
know,
have
I-
to
I-
argue over social media
Yeah, I
because we're
think-
like, no, you're on social media too much. Just the
I
same as
think, but I think you have to, I think there are certain stipulations, and I just say that because what I'm doing with the YouTube, it asks you, are there any children in here? And and if you do have children, or if this content is for children, there's different stipulations that you have to go through in order for your child to be on your YouTube page. Because I
And-
mean, so you do have to have parental guidance to go along with it, especially if you're under a certain age. Because I
That's
mean,
it.
and that's just what I have seen from just dealing with YouTube. So, but I think that after you are it's just like any other parental thing, is that you can't you can't tell your child to stay up all night long and watch TV and think that they just gonna watch cartoons.
Exactly.
You're trusting them in different areas. So if
Exactly.
you give your child some social media, your parenting skills, their listening skills, all of that has to be, all of that is, should be, should be, on display. Because a lot of times, some of the negative things, they're not even people, they're robots, So, you
So
might
that's
be,
why,
somebody might be, you think you're getting teased by somebody, it's not even a person.
exactly, ladies, y'all all can remember a time that there was a time that the TV went off, like click,
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
like bzzz,
Well,
nope.
after the national anthem.
Yep, national anthem, and then the TV go off. Yep.
Yeah.
Y'all can, you all can remember that. My mom can remember those times. So there were more. So imagine if that would happen right now. Imagine right now, we all sitting in front of our TVs later on this evening, and the TV at 12 o'clock, all the TVs go click. Ain't no TV, ain't no Facebook, ain't no.
I think that's what they want America to happen, because I mean,
Everybody
that is happening
go to
in
bed.
many other countries. You're muted. You got muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Uh, people would lose their minds. People would lose their everlasting minds.
Well,
You
I
know,
don't know.
that is the dependency that we have become. We have lost that sense of community, because we can share that community through through what we call our tools and our instruments. I'm not not saying that we can't, individually do certain things, but it's amazing when you go to a concert right now and you don't see, and you stop and look at everyone in the concert, and everyone in the concert is not watching the concert, they're watching their phone, and the performer is on stage because they're too busy taping the concert instead of enjoying the concert.
But isn't that how they enjoy the concert?
I
Maybe
guess.
that's how they enjoy the concert.
I mean, I guess. I mean, but
Yeah.
would you rather be taping a concert or dancing?
Me personally, I don't want to be at the concert. I'm not gonna be at the concert. You know, that's just because I don't want to be in a crowd of people. But you know, and if for those people who are at the concert, some people are watching the people on stage, and some people are doing their phone. That's
Mhm.
because here in America, we are really, this is during this time, I think during this time, as much as they're trying to take all of our freedoms away, we really have a lot of freedom.
But this is what I
We
mean
really
when
have a
you're
lot of freedom now.
exactly, but and that's what I mean when your entertainers have to tell you, hey, when your entertainers have to tell the crowd, do not bring your phones. I am entertaining you. The whole crowd, entertainer says, you cannot, no, I don't want my crowd to bring their phone in there. They can take pictures afterwards, but while I'm doing my entertainment, that means that people are not even paying attention to the show. They're too busy trying to tape.
Yeah, that's exactly what that means.
Mhm.
And you know, and for whatever
So then-
reason
so
that they
then-
got in that building with their phones.
so therefore, put your phones down. Put your phones down and look at something in reality.
But that's just the thing. I mean, we gotta let people be where they are. If people are watching their phone instead of watching the show that's right in front of them, then they are caught up in the matrix. They're not seeing, they're looking toward the future thing. They want to make sure that this thing is recorded so they can show all of their friends or whoever knows what they're recording it for. But you know, we got to let people be who they are. You know, we can't, and I think that that's one of the main things that why people are doing the things that they're doing nowadays. Trying to bring back some
In the same sense of
that we
letting
used
people
to
be,
have.
yeah, but in that same sense of letting people be who they are, then I can, which I do understand, live and let live. But in that same sense of live and let live, what about me? What about this? And I'm just using this example as far as, like I'm saying, a lot of entertainers out here right now are doing that. A lot of comedians have to tell people, hey, you are not allowed to, when I come to an arena, you are not allowed to bring my cell phone because you're not paying attention to my jokes. A lot of singers and a lot of dancers are saying, hey, you cannot bring your cell phones in here because you're not paying attention to our art. You're just trying to capture our art, and we don't like that. If it's not inspirational to you at this moment in time, why it's given to you live, then all you're doing is using us.
There was actually a time when if you went into a concert or a performance or whatever, where there was an audience, they would tell you, turn off all telephones, all cell phones. And if you didn't, and it went off, you were actually taken out. You were escorted out of the audience, away from the whatever it was that you were involved with.
Yeah, but that was back when people had some courtesy too.
And that's what I'm saying.
You know, they don't have courtesy driving. They don't have courtesy doing a whole lot of things. People are not, they're very uncourteous now.
Yes,
you know,
are.
So nobody
Is
listens
that-
to rules because
Is
everybody, because
that
we're all
tied
so
to our
free.
devices? Is that, and that's what I'm saying, is that tied to our devices? Because we are so busy influenced with technology that we're not paying attention to one another.
I would say
no.
yes.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, I found that article. That's what I was looking up so that I can read. I'm just going to read the caption to y'all. Utah governor signs law to restrict social media access for kids and teens. You know, that's crazy. Children and teenagers in Utah can lose their access to social media next year or face a budget of restrictions after the state governor signed the law toughening access and limiting their time on platform. This is from NBC News, y'all. I think that's crazy. I
It
mean,
is.
that's why I don't hardly look at TV, because when they say television program, it's the government programming us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have access to I can get to what is it, Fire Stick and all of that, Netflix, but I hardly ever look at television. The TV look at me because I'll end up going to sleep. But if it's not a documentary, something that's really gonna catch my mind, I only soap opera I was ever into was Dark Shadows, and that was years ago.
I watched Dark Shadows yesterday.
The oldie, the old one.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay, what channel that come on?
Oh, it was on Pluto.
Okay.
Mhm.
So now I know with something like that I used to love to look at because I love Barnabas. I
Quinn
still
was getting
remember.
ready to turn into a werewolf.
Yeah, but it's the control they want us. They
Yeah.
the United States government, they want to control us, period. And you have to stay woke on different things. You'll know that, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that is really, terrible. But yeah, you're right. I think that's what all it is, and the more, and like I said, I see more and more where we are right in alignment with what with what Revelation says. That we are heading into that into this new age. The ending of this age.
Do you
Coming to the end of
understand,
this age?
as us being women, why most of these men in politics want to control a woman's body? I just don't understand it. They did away with Roe and Wade, didn't they? In some
Yeah.
states.
Yeah, and the other day I was thinking, because I was listening to something and we're talking about, make America great again. And I
When was it
trying to
great?
figure out when that time period that they wanted great again, but I kind of think that it's that impression like the 1950s, where you would see the man, the woman in the car, and maybe the children. They're all in the car, but it's a drawing. I don't think that they're looking for a real America.
Yeah, because
They're looking for that artificial.
yeah, because it was never great for us, period.
It won't great for them either.
Yeah,
It won't great for them either. Women, they
That's one.
came out the 50s burning their bras. They didn't like the 50s.
That's one reason I never wanted my sons in the military. My brother went to Vietnam. He was in the Navy, following suit with my father. But I never wanted my sons to follow in no war here. Never. Because my mother was trying to talk my oldest one into going in the military. And I said, don't do that. That's my son. How he can make a better life. What does it mean? I don't know how much they pay out for death, but to give me a flag and tell me how nice a son I had, but yet he can't even catch a cab in New York City.
Right.
He's not allowed to go in different restaurants. So yeah, it has to be that picture, like you said, Penelope, because I don't remember it being great. You look at Trump. Trump has got people riled up already because they haven't even indicted him, and people are protesting already about him being indicted. You see that, right?
No, but I believe
the thing about it was, I'm into politics, and I'm paying a lot of attention to this.
You see what's going on then, right?
What I'm seeing is exactly a lot of the things that you all, I have to agree with you all, what y'all saying. First of all, don't watch the news. If you're watching TV, there's no reason to watch the news. The news is not telling the news. The news is not speaking about what matters
really happening. Yeah.
What's
us,
really happening.
what's really happening, what's going on. I got fed up the other day. Ladies, I got fed up the other day because they decided to show on CNN the tanks that they were sending to the Ukraine and how the tanks looked and breaking down all the business about the tanks. And I'm like, how y'all gonna be breaking? That ain't nobody's business. What type of government is, you know what I'm saying? Where you gonna sit there? Were you giving the documents and the blueprints of your tank on CNN?
And that's what I'm
What do you-
talking about. I don't know what they talking about. China stealing
you
data from
doing?
us. We steal. Everybody's stealing everything all the time.
You
We're
know,
we're all on one ball. Everybody knows everybody else's business. You
the
know,
thing, so I'm looking at it. I hate to say it like this. No, back when you ladies were growing up, my elders, was it great? Was it Leave It to Beaver? No.
No,
Guaranteed. You know, was it more of a good time situation? Yeah. You know, we understood that. We understand that. We are that generation that has that. And what we are doing right now and what we are trying to produce right now is something a little bit different. Yes, are some of us trapped into a point of view of social media? Me, I will be honest, personally, I really don't deal with social media. You'll never find me at www.this, that, and the fifth on Facebook, that. No, you'll find me on Inner Haven. You'll find me, if I give my email address to you. I am not a Facebook. I am not a social media person. I will not do that. It's just something that I felt rubbed me when I saw it come in. It rubbed me the wrong way. I said, everybody gonna start. I knew it. I said, everybody gonna start telling their business. I don't want. Come on, man. I remember my friends with the first one as far as before Facebook, the first one. I can't even think of the name. MySpace and all that. I don't have. You will never. You will not find. You'll not find me. I'm like, nah, man. They like, come on, man. We'll help you make it. This, that, and that. Oh, man, you an old man. You don't want to get with this. You don't want to get with that and this, that. No, y'all not tracking me. Y'all, I already know what this is about.
Hey,
You
y'all,
know?
I'm not cutting you off. I just want to say bye to y'all because I got to go somewhere now.
Okay.
And I'll
okay,
see y'all tomorrow. Okay. Love
All right.
y'all.
okay.
Love you.
Love you.
All right.
But
Well, it's 3:36. Go ahead. Finish your comment, Andre.
it's just amazing how we are afraid that the powers that be are going to take us over when they already have.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of a funny situation, and you just have to bring yourself to wherever you are. Change what
Well,
you can.
When I started off just, using email, and somebody invited me to Facebook, and I said, nah, I ain't dealing with that. But as time progressed, I realized that, okay, yeah, maybe it's okay. And when I first got on Facebook, there was a lot of bashing, I guess is the best way to put it, where people would get on, and they still do, air their gripes and complaints and talk about people, name calling and all that kind of stuff. I said, I can't deal with this, And then Facebook, I guess, decided that they would kind of put things more in control of their users. So now I don't get all of that stuff and conversations that I used to get. And I'm very careful about who I'm friends with. I'm very careful about who I, you know, what organizations I deal with. But, and you're right, Andre. It's I'm not on social media as much as I used to be. I'm, paring back with that. And it doesn't bother me. I just, it's whatever. But and there are times when I say, should I just ditch this altogether? Because, they're taking away too much. And it reminds me, what all of this reminds me of, years ago, I read a book. The title was The Naked Society. And Vance Packard was the writer. And when I read it, it was like, nah, this ain't gonna happen. And it's all coming to pass. It has come to pass. All the things that he was talking about as far as a naked society, how our lives will no longer be our own. Everything about us will be exposed.
Mm-hmm. The Naked Society, you said that was the name of the book?
Yeah, Vance Packard was the author.
That sounds good.
Vance Packard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was another book too. The guy's name is a weird name, like Dick Diggler or something like that. But anyway, his I can't think of the name of the book, but I always wanted to read it, and I never read that book either. But it was about, he wrote it in the 80s or the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically about how society is changing in this, in a futuristic way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting. Well, it's 3:40. This was a kind of good conversation that we had.
We say open discussion, but it usually boils down to something, to one or two issues that we're all concerned about. And like you said, it was a good discussion today.
Yeah. And so let's do our roundtable really quickly. To discuss what did we learn about our discussion today, and how we can apply it to our lives, or how we are already applying it to our lives.
Well, for me, the first thing that we actually kind of indulged in to any degree was worship. And it's something that I never really thought about. And then after we looked at it and we began to discuss it, it's something that I feel like I need to pay more attention to, as far as what worship is, how it affects me, how I look at things and people. And it just, it was kind of the conversation was a real eye opener, and something that I perhaps need to think about a little bit more.
Thank you. How about you, Andre?
Well, definitely what I've learned is there is still a open conversation of how worship is, and how we can look at politics in so many different ways, and so many different ages, and so many different generations. So it's always great to be able to come together and have those conversations and just kind of shake, shake those bones off and let everyone know like, hey, this is how I look at a point of view of this, and it's great to hear how you look at a point of view of that, of politics. So it's great to be able to bring these things to a table and be able to see good, I don't want to say good and bad, but weigh pros and cons of both people speaking and the way that we feel. So and I would love to be able to apply that to definitely allow opinions in my life to see where they will flourish as well with mine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, and I for me today, it's just the way that we allow conversation to flow. We went from one subject to another subject to another subject, back to the first subject to another subject. But I think that when we are learning how to share the basis part of ourselves, the most vulnerable part of ourselves, which is our truth. I think that that's, really, really a valuable tool. And, to allow myself to be laid bare, this is an idea that I had. It might sound kind of stupid, but I was thinking about this the other day. So, here goes some of my thoughts, and I can put them out there. And, people, and, I have people who want to share in my thought. And that's really a glorious thing, because so many of us don't have an opportunity to speak or to share a thought, and to be honest and to be truthful. And I have that with a group of friends, people that I can trust, that I can be very vulnerable with. And I know that I'm not going to be judged or or laughed at or or any other thing. So I do appreciate that from y'all. I really do.
As we all
Um,
do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's 3:46. It seemed like we wouldn't have enough time, but we got plenty of time. We got 15 more minutes, actually. Because I mean, it's not going to take long to talk about our Inner Haven commercial. Tomorrow we're going to be working on excuse me. Tomorrow we're going to be working on the what is it? The
Kabbalah.
Kabbalah, and we'll be working with Hod. Excuse me, that sufferer. Wednesdays we still have a Course in Miracles from 5 to 6:30. Thursday we should be concluding with that book, the Introduction to Gnosis. That will be that we'll be finishing that final chapter this Thursday. And then we start looking at different books to read, or if we want to do something else during that time, or do we want to just take a break? It's up to us, however we want to do it, whether we want to do another book study, whether we want to just have to do something else, put something else in that place, or whatever. So y'all let me know. So that's Thursday evenings. Let's see. Next Saturday, here's my book right here. Next Saturday is the
1st of April.
the 1st of April. Okay. So then we'll be working with angels again, and I think I'm gonna be trying to talk about, the hierarchy of the angels. Their principalities and thrones and powers, virtues. They're the archangels. So I'll be talking about the different levels of the angels. Then we have on the 8th of April, we have healing with the chakras with Harriet. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to be having my cousin's birthday party here on the 15th. So we won't have a lesson. I mean, a thing on the 15th of April. So just
Okay.
to let y'all know that. And then on the 22nd, we got the Hip Hop Hierophant is coming in, and she's gonna be giving us a talk on astral travel. So I'm really looking
Ooh.
forward to that. Her name is Joy Tremiel. Joy Tremiel. I don't know. I'll have to ask her again how to pronounce her last name.
Is that the one that's in Newport News?
That's the one we met in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, Virginia.
Oh yeah,
Beach,
but yeah, she resides in Newport News.
Yeah,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
she was one of the first ones we saw as we walked in.
Yes, as we walked in. Yeah, so she's gonna be so she'll be here on April the 22nd. And so we don't have anything for April the 29th and April the 30th. So if anyone can think of a subject to talk about or to discuss the 29th of April or the 30th of April, just let me know. The 29th is Saturday and the 30th is Sunday.
Why not leave the 29th? You said that's Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Why not have that as an open discussion?
Okay.
Because I like these open discussions because it takes us down different rabbit holes.
Okay. That sounds good. We can do that. So whenever we have a spare week, we can do that.
Right. And
Mhm.
we can also anybody that has not had an opportunity, or if for whatever reason they're, if they're an ongoing presentation, let them have that Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
what do we usually have on the third Saturday of the month?
We have the Book of Enoch.
Okay, so
So you want to do? Hey, Andre, you want to do the Book of Enoch on the 30th?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I think we're about to finish that part up, right?
I can't remember.
Well, I'll
are we
check with
that
Rebecca
close to the end of that first section? That
off of
first?
that. If I'm
I
not
don't-
mistaken.
Oh, okay.
We could be
Okay.
because I think it was only. I think we were
Another 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we were close to the end of that one.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we'll do
Yeah.
the Book of Enoch on the 30th.
Yeah, we can conclude that session, and then I'll go ahead and see where I can leave off. So I'll go ahead and get to that tonight anyways. I got some stuff to
Okay.
do. So.
Well,
Not
that
a
sounds
problem.
good.
Yeah, I'm working on science projects anyways tonight. So that's a science project. So if they gonna do one, I'm gonna do one too.
I know that's
Okay.
right. I know that's right. And I would like to have create a day where we have like I don't know, a hands-on day where we're really working on you know, either working with our pendulums or working with pushing energy, or we're really, you know, working on our clairvoyance, have a you know, have a hands-on day where
Hmm.
we're actually applying the spiritual energies that we talk about all the time.
Applying or practicing or both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can try that for well, we could either unless we want, if we can do that, have the application day or have a, you know, a hands-on day for the 29th, or we can do your open discussion for the 29th. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say, yeah. Well, I picked my book back up, my tarot book back up. So I read a couple more pages again.
Yeah, we
I'm
do the
still-
tarot on the 9th.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm still trying to understand these cards. We're getting along. We
Oh,
are
well, that's
getting
good.
along. But they
That's good
are
to know that y'all not angry with each other.
not they talk as much as I do.
I did. I had a pendulum one time. That pendulum was not my friend. That pendulum did not like me at all. At all. If I said yes, the pendulum said no. If I said up, the pendulum said down. If I wanted the pendulum to move, the pendulum stood still. If I wanted the pendulum to stand still, the pendulum moved all over the place. I said,
did you
"Okay, well,
buy it or
don't
did
like
somebody give it to you?
I can't remember. I can't remember whether I bought it or whether it was a gift. I think I bought it though.
Mhm.
Yeah, because most of the stuff I was doing back then, I was by myself.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I didn't have a lot of people who were, you know, doing
Like-minded people.
like-minded people. Yeah, had a couple of friends. Piali was one, and you know, I had a couple of other friends, but most of the time it was just me.
Hmm.
They're a little chatty. I'm like, okay. They're like, hey man, take me out the box. You know you want to take me out the box. I'm not taking y'all out this box. Man. You gonna tell me something I don't want to hear. I ain't in no mood for that right now. You know I'm in that. Come on, man, stop playing. Take me out this box. So
Oh,
I mean,
No, that's
man,
good. I'm glad you got some friends that want to hang out with you.
yeah, right now we're a little chatty, but yeah, so we definitely love to you know, I'm looking forward to tarot so we can I can play with I can show my cards as well and like see how loud they are. They don't ever stop talking. Thanks, Finn. Gave me a mirror of me.
But don't you want to know Andre better?
I know who he is.
Yeah.
On my nerve.
Oh,
Okay.
y'all are so funny.
Oh,
Oh, that's hilarious. All right then, y'all. Well, it's 3:56. So we covered everything up. We had a great session today. I really enjoyed it. I always enjoy our open discussions. And you know, we haven't gotten as deep as we can get. We always still stay kind of
the surface.
We
Yeah.
do kind of stay surface, but you know, one of these days we're gonna let it all hang out.
Right?
All righty then, everybody. But then that's it for today. Would anyone like to close us out in prayer, or does anybody have anything that they would like to make a comment on or anything before we close?
Oh, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on our YouTube.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Would anyone like to close us out in prayer? Okay, well, I will. Let's just settle back for a moment and become centered. And imagine this a brilliant, bright light that is just shining everywhere, just everywhere. And as we stand in the midst of this bright light, we allow this light to absorb into our being. We see it becoming one, see it absorbing itself into our head, our neck, our shoulders, our torso, our legs, our feet. We're connected from the top all the way down to the bottom with this great white light. In this light is all realms of possibility. It lives in us now. It is a part of who we are. It is our being. We are that light. Every step we make is energized with this light. Every sound that we hear is vibrating through that light. Every word that we speak is energized and directed by that light. And with this, we know that we are one with the source of all good, all light, and all power and presence. And as we stand firm, knowing this, and being evolved, we allow that symbol of evolution to continue in our hearts and our minds, our spirits and our bodies. We cleanse our emotions. We cleanse all aspects of our spiritual aura, of our astral plane body, and our mental body. And as we stand firm, knowing that we are connected to not only the divine, but one another in this place of space and time. And that with that we say, and so it is.
And so it is.
Okay. Well, that was it, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you all tomorrow.
2 p.m.
Bye.